the ambiance.
Hello.
Hi.
To another episode of What's Up with Upslope TV. We got a fun show for you guys today. I'm Katie, back at it again, Upslope's marketing manager, and this time I've got a couple of new goons with me to play along. Got Laura Greeny. She is our event coordinator. Laura, want to say a little something?
Hey guys, Jack already said hi, but hey to everybody else out there. Hopefully everybody's having a nice digital happy hour with us and enjoying some spiked snowmelt or a delicious beer. Happy Thursday.
Right on. We also have OG performer from the Upslope Get Down, Keith Lawrence, hiding behind his own banner. Yeah.
Oh, what up? How we doing? Thanks for having us and myself. Appreciate you guys and everything you've always done for me and Boot Gun. So first time having a beer with y'all virtually. I'll take it.
Nice. All right. So episode 2, we get down with a little help from our friends. So this would have been the week of the Upslope Get Down. We would have been in our 7th year. Keith is here because, like I said, he's an OG performer. He's been at 5 of the last 6, and he would have been at this year. So sadly, due to the state of affairs, we were not able to get together in person in the parking lot this Saturday, which would have been apparently amazing weather according to the weather report. So pour one out for the Get Down, guys, since it can't happen. Maybe not on your living room floor. Drink it.
Right down the noggin.
Right on. So we're here to just kind of take a little walk down memory lane and chat with our good buddy Keith. Keith has seen the event through a couple of different bands. So, Keith, without further ado, do you want to just take a stab at telling us what it was like for you, and then we can just kind of bring up the different posters from years past and talk about them?
Sure. So yeah, let's go in chronological. Yeah, start from the past.
Let's do. So I'm going to throw up a couple of the posters.
Project, when I couldn't find anybody to play with me, or maybe I couldn't play with anybody. I don't know. Either way, I started K-Law. That was a solo looping project. Psychedelic funk soul reggae grass is what I called it. It worked. Played a bunch of shows. I think that's how I honestly got my teeth wet on the nipple of Denver. In the music scene. That's it. I mean, I've always done music my whole life, and I was like, fuck it, if I can't have anybody with me, I'm just gonna do this. So it started with breweries and stuff, and then it moved to bigger stages. So the Armory being a stage. I remember bands like Sun Swap who would play there too. The Army was just starting then, and bands like Child State Revival were playing there, and it was just a cool vibe that was happening. But you had come to those shows. Katie had come to those shows, and that was the last thing of me introduced to Get Down. So that started that. I think you got a picture of the inaugural K-Law performance on that side stage. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll throw up a picture of all 3 of the different acts that you've played for.
Okay.
So K-Law, it was a duo, right? It was K-Law and Sassy Pants. Y'all always had the sassiest pants.
Facts. That's a good fact. I think I split most of them every show. So my tailor absolutely loves me.
So we got in this picture right here, we've got Keith as K-Law, which was that kind of crazy, whatever you just described it as, looping act. And then the middle picture is Co-Ambient, which was your little threesome that was, what do you want to say about Co-Ambient? What was up with that?
Too, the forgotten projects of the past. That was a fun project. It was very different. We did it with Andy Brennan, who plays percussion for Widespread Panic cover band called Machine Funk.
I thought you were about to stop at Widespread Panic. I was like, don't fool now.
That's an alternate universe. I'm sure of it. And his awesome homegirl Bonnie. She picked up the bass too and was learning while we started that project. And that was the fun part about it, because it was an open canvas. You couldn't say, oh, this was a bad idea. Fuck it, try it. And most of the ideas, some were rubbish, but the ones that kept, there were some really fun ones. Actually, at that show, That was a really cool scenario. Travis sat in. Katie's husband sat in on percussion, actually.
I cropped him out of the picture because he wasn't really in the band. Sorry.
And I remember, like, because the Flatirons are right behind that, and I remember we covered Fire on the Mountain, and we had never played this song besides, like, in a basement before. So as we played that, the sun crept up right behind the Flatirons. You can't make that shit up. Beautiful serendipity.
Nice. Well, that kind of takes us to a question I know Laura and me wanted to ask, which, Laura, take it away if you want to. Kind of what I'm getting at, so Laura knows what I want her to ask. It's just related to, like, Laura and I have worked on this event since 2014. We don't really get to see it the way that an artist gets to see it. So just curious, like, what your favorite experience has been as an artist. Or Laura, kind of help me out. You had some good ideas earlier that you wanted to ask him. So this is your chance.
Right. I mean, I always joke that I like totally black out during these events, and it's not due to booze. It's just like you're going and you're vibing and you're having a good time. And I can barely finish a beer over the 12-hour day, but I black out, and there's always these highlights where the next day I'm like, damn, that was so cool. But as a musician and not necessarily like a civilian, this is kind of your like daily life, right? So who was the band that you were just like blown away by, who maybe you hadn't heard of or you had and you were stoked to see live? Just kind of who were you stoked on?
Good question. Gosh, so Freak Bass. That Freak Bass show, dance party, like. And I remember, we had just got done. I think it was Boot Gun's first time playing, or now that's when I guess crossed over. It could have been Co-Indian. I don't know, because Freak Bass.
I can pull up the posters and we'll figure that out in just a minute.
Sure. Okay, so that band, highlightable for me, because I remember him like getting pumped up in that like green room that y'all makeshift in like the mill room or whatever the fuck that is. He does a fantastic job. There's always a charcuterie and beers galore, and I'm probably have to call Laura. My Laura, there's no beers in here. We are going through these.
Yeah.
So I remember like following like Freak Bass getting pumped and him like running out on that stage and all getting down. Fucking Rowdy Shade House. I am gonna throw out a Rowdy Shade House because those guys are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me tell you, that was something Laura and I were reminiscing about this week. We were like, Rowdy Shade House was awesome. If y'all are out there somewhere, hey, what up? You guys rock.
Hey, we love you. Y'all are crazy.
I
don't know if we knew what we were getting into when we booked that band, and we got well more than we bargained for. But then what was weird is, like, if anyone out there knows about Rowdy Shade House, the music isn't exactly kid friendly, and it was interesting to see lots of children hula hooping at the front of the stage when sexually explicit music was just getting thrown out on the airwaves.
Lots of you thought, Laura, you thought my pants were tight. Those guys, boy, they're like 1990s wrestling.
There was nothing left of the imagination at all.
They actually asked if they could take their pants off and do a mangina on stage, and I was like, I gotta say no to that one.
It's a hard no, dude.
That's a hard no. This is a free community event, and as much as I would not like to see that, we gotta stop.
No, fuck Main Squeeze last year.
Sick.
Like so good. Yeah. And I think that was like maybe some of the boys in Boot Gun, like that might have been their first time seeing them, and like just completely blown away by that band. I think that one of the cool thing about what y'all put on is that like there's not really a lot of boundaries. The artists are hanging out with all of Upslope's fans and y'all's people, and also the musicians. Like I've met so many awesome people through that, getting gigs through that. We were supposed to play the Fox tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Leading up to and then playing Ural Festival on Saturday. So that's still scheduled September.
Yeah, for anyone watching, we are hopeful that we can put something on like this in September, eyeing the date of September 12th. But, right now we've had a hard time wanting to go ahead and fully commit to that and announce that because we just don't know what's going on and what's going to even be permitted. So while we can, we're having fun on this virtual platform, but I can tell you right now, when that thing comes back, or when an event is able to come back, we are going to come full force, and Boot Gun's going to have a lot of fun in store for you. Keith as the front man of that. So Yeah, thanks for sharing some memories, Keith. I think we should go and click through the progression of what the event has looked like by way of posters, because it's, it was kind of just an idea in 2014. I started in 2013, as did Laura, and
As did I.
What's that?
As did I, probably, I don't know, 14, 13, around there.
You're in the fam.
We wanted to just have a good time, and there was really no other reason but to have a bunch of people come and hang out and party and listen to good music. So that was its goal, and I think we knocked it out of the park, and we've kept it free every year since. So this is just kind of a snapshot of what those posters used to be. And Keith, you came on the scene in 2015 as K-Law.
15. Drink. Every time we say, can we make a rule, by the way? Every time we say any of my past projects, maybe even future projects that we're not even sure, we might create that today during the stream. We have.
All right, well, I'll drink because I said
and everybody at home too. You have to drink as well.
Yeah, we'll let you know. So then the next couple of years you were there. I can't really read this because it's a bit small on my screen. But you, K-Law, so go ahead and drink again. You were there 2016, and we have Co-Ambient in 2017, so we'll drink again.
I like this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is going to get you where you want to go. Then this was the last 2 years, so we got that. Those last 2 years were smoke shows. Keith, again, you were there, but you were with Boot Gun the last 2 years.
Woo, we'll drink on that one. Hang out, we're bored.
Gorilla Fanfare. That's another band.
Dude, without a doubt, they're
oh my god! The second line marching through everybody, and because I was able to book them and work with them too. So man, that's a thank you connection to that one.
Yeah, that is a down home band, and Laura can definitely talk more to that because she's kind of been our liaison with that band. But Gorilla Fanfare never disappoints.
Right,
thanks guys. We hope you're watching.
And such good people and so talented. And I remember we work with Matt Bano, who is our just badass friend and talent buyer. And he introduced us to them in, 2016 or 17. They've been a recurring band, which we don't normally do, but they're that good. And I just remember
unless you're Keith Lawrence, who's been in the six.
Yeah.
This would have been
doing Busted. Crushed it, and now they're their trajectory is out of this world. So
they did a Grizz at Red Rocks.
That's insane.
Sure.
It's really cool to feel kind of like a proud parent when you book a band and then years later, I have nothing to do with their success, but I feel a little bit excited to see these people. I feel excited to see people go the distance, Yeah. It's incredibly cool. And actually, before we get to hanging out with the butt goons of Boot Gun, which welcome to the show, guys, we're going to do a fun Spotify playlist that me and Laura kind of collaborated on with bands from the past 6 years. Boot Gun is obviously on that playlist with a couple of their tracks, but that's going to be available on Spotify on Friday and Saturday. So weather's going to be great. While you're getting down with your bad selves at home, we highly suggest you plug into the 10 hours of music that we've curated.
10 hours. And just so everybody knows, if your band didn't make it on there, it's just because you weren't on Spotify. So I dug deep. We love you. We have nothing but love. I just couldn't find everybody.
Did you Shazam them? Shaze them? You gotta Shazaze them.
You could do that with Spotify playlists. I'm just not that tech savvy, but I scrolled through so many things on Spotify, which created a really badass Discover Weekly. So thank you to all the bands of the Get Downs of the past.
It's been an eclectic bunch, man. I know that the Get Down is kind of meant from the roots to be like this funky, let your freak flag fly kind of environment. And I think that's what it does. But I think that's we build up to that energy with that funk. But all throughout the day, it's been fun to incorporate different genres of music and some things that don't even have a way to be, contained in terms of what they even represent. Example being K-Law and Co-Ambient and really Boot Gun. You guys really break all.
Just keep on going with that one.
you guys really break all like musical genres. It's just kind of, it is what it is. It's just badass, and that's all you can wish for in a band and in music. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the entire band who's come on the scene. I'm gonna throw up a cool graphic of you guys looking all cool. Here they are.
Yeah, man, that's cool. The coolest.
Bunch of good-looking dudes. We got Davey on bass and vocals. We got Sam on guitar and vocals. We got Keith Lawrence on guitar and vocals, and we got Cody, who's the heart of the band. No pun intended.
Oh,
That can't get bigger.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. So welcome to the stage, everyone. Good to see you all.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Should we
You have experiences? Was it the first one? Because you've also played y'all's anniversaries too, or one or two of them.
Two.
Two anniversaries.
Anniversaries, but
Headline this past year. Headlined.
oh yeah, the first one was in the cold and rain at like.
No, that was the Get Down.
That was a Get Down. That was the first Get Down. Then
The first Get Down, it rained during our set.
there was like
God
10
bless the rain.
10 to 12 of like, I feel like we are so blessed that these people hung out in the rain to watch our show. Cold rain, like it was snowing the night before, it had to have been. And cleared out for that. But the 180 of that is the most recent time that we played is like, we had everybody ages from like, if you were a crawling infant to like late 80s. I mean, they were getting down.
Those late 80s folks really surprise us every Get Down. I tell you what, the
It's
Jerry
like the electrolyte seltzers that you have. Get some zoom in.
Bang.
Yeah. So actually a fun behind the scenes thing that no one really ever thinks about or ever knows about is like Laura and I, the week of a Get Down, are watching the weather constantly, obviously, even though there's zero we can do about it. We usually have like a tent on reserve for like a week if it looks like rain. And then it's also good because if it's sunny, then it's for shade. One thing people have no idea about is that the Upslope parking lot does not drain.
Lake Upslope.
There's something great about it that when it rains, it doesn't drain. So it all turns into Lake Upslope, and so much to the point where you can like kind of float on a keg. It gets so deep and like fish. It's like knee deep water. It's pretty, not great when you're planning an event. So the last year, I think it snowed so much that our tent people were like, you're not going to be able to get a tent because we can't safely erect it in the snow. And we're like, well, that's going to be an issue.
Jesus.
Turns out they made it happen. But then all the snow melted and we were almost tits deep in water. And so we had to go rent all these pumps and pump that lot out for like 6 hours. God bless our engineering team at Upslope.
Shout out to Bill.
Let's just drink every time we shout out someone. Anyone.
Upslope.
Every time. We just drink the whole time. It's not about
Perfect.
Also, Bill from Sunbelt. We love you.
Bill.
Now drink.
This game's going to be fun. We're boot guys. We're going to finish this game.
But I mean, basically,
Shout out.
we are lucky every single year that we are able to put that event on because something works against us one way or another. We've had bands pull out the week of. Like I said, we've had Lake Upslope interfere with things. We've had vendors pull out day of.
Your boot camp will never pull out. That's just not. That's not our style. That's not our style. It's just we're true to our word.
You guys are the best. I'm actually wearing a boot gun shirt right now, if you can see it.
That might be your new logo, y'all.
Shout out to
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah. All right. Somebody's off topic, but I think we should drink for this too. We had a comment. Josh Graham, thanks for tuning in religiously. I remember you from last week. Off topic, still need craft lager out here in California. We couldn't agree more. We're going to drink to that.
Shout out to California, Joshy.
I love you, Josh.
So I know a ton of our friends and likely some of your family, Keith. Hey, Toby. I know you're watching. I saw you plugged in.
Shout out to Toby.
My mom.
Yeah, mom.
Everybody's mother.
Put some comments in here. Let's ask some hard questions for these guys. And while we're at it, since I just mentioned your brother's name on air, I personally think this is funny without putting anyone on blast that we got Keith here and we got his brother Toby. And there's no relation to Toby Keith, but man, that's funny to me. So let's drink to names of Toby Keith. That's ridiculous. You're the best.
Toby Keith Lawrence. You know, so my brother and I are 4 years apart, so we did have some friends in school that would somewhat pass by each other. So Toby Keith, that's your like our parents when they had us, they were on Toby Keith tour. They were like really big into making shirts in case. That was like, you're born when? I'm like, dude, 1 and 1 is 12. So that it works. Shout out to Toby.
Shout out.
Hold on. I see a question I would like to answer. Ariel, can you see this? Why is Cody the only butt goon without a stash?
I think you might have a stash.
So that's not the answer.
Sensitive topic. Tune in next week when we are releasing our album live, and you'll see I don't have a stash. In fact, I'm going to be missing a mustache as well as this little chin dangle.
Just chops.
Just chops for Coco.
All right.
Chin dangles was my nickname in high school.
Sure.
Chin dangles.
Nice.
Actually, the real story is we booked to go. I'm not going to finish my story then because that's it. But make believe.
I know what you goons just said, but I would love to talk about y'all's album unless you would like to talk about facial hair.
Let's talk about our album.
Facial hair.
Oh.
I love y'all's new art, and I would love for y'all to talk about the inspiration behind it because I've heard a little bit about this, just being personal friends with Keith. So here's what it looks like, you guys. It is dropping Friday, May 15th, but I'll let you guys talk about it. That's what it looks like. Take what you got.
That's right.
Tell us
Take What You Got is Take What You Got. The title of the album is just from one of our songs. It's kind of just like a hook where you get to sing along with it. And that's kind of, we just were in the middle. We were trying to name the album, and we named it like 3 times. And then I think we were outside smoking cigarettes when we decided on the actual title. We just didn't even agree on it. We just like, yeah, that sounds good.
Because it makes sense when you hear it in context in the song.
It doesn't make sense on like just saying it out loud.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's kind of a confusing thing, but it works for the album. Shout out to Tanner Barkin.
Shout out Tanner
and Camp Cup Design.
Whoa, shout out.
He's the artist. Sorry, I had a drink. He's the artist that did all this awesome artwork for us, and he did it in a time crunch because originally we were going to
fucking peach lemonade, guys. Upslope, you're stepping up your game. Woo!
Shout out to Peach.
That's what I'm drinking.
Shout out to Upslope and Scratch Lab.
Oh, that's delicious. It's like a peach in my face.
You heard it here, folks. Book unapproves. Thank you to Scratch Labs. Boom.
Boom.
So we originally were going to release this album in June with a big blowout show. Yada yada yada. Obviously, that can't happen. So we're like, fuck it, let's just get this thing out there digitally. And so next Friday we'll be at Silo Sound at 5 p.m. Presented by Underground Music Showcase. It's something different now. Underground Music.
UMS.
Yeah, the Underground Music something is what they're calling it right.
They're presenting it, but we'll be at Silo Sound where we recorded the album, and we'll be doing a live stream doing the album in full, and also some new songs that we'll be recording next weekend as well. So, look forward to that. You can find that at UMS. You can find it through our website.
So it's not going to be entirely digital? Like, if you're...
Like this.
No.
Oh, you mean the actual album?
Wow, we got a lot of merch to sell. You
got so much stuff.
We got tattoos.
Shut up!
Shut up!
On your chair.
We got stickers.
We got rifles.
Enamel pins. We got
We have Booker pistols.
We got hooker pistols. We will come to your house and tattoo you.
Great. Well, anyone who's curious what the logo looks like for your tattoo, it might kind of go over Laura's face, but little action like that. Maybe a little action like that.
Oh, nice.
You had fun today.
If you guys want that tattooed somewhere on your neck, call Bootgun or message them directly. You'll get free Bootgun show admission for life. That's a new promo that I just started for the Bootgun team.
If you get a tramp stamp, you get to drink for free the rest of your life at a boot camp.
I would say you can get on guest list for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true.
You could probably drink for free at other places if you just show that off to people. They'll be like, you got a boot gun tramp stamp? Have a beer.
Yeah.
Full circle.
That should be a new movement. Like, if you have a tramp stamp, people should feel almost like bad for you because like tramp stamps aren't a thing anymore. So I feel like that should just be a free beverage moving on. Like, if you have a tramp stamp
Anymore?
We all have tramp stamps.
do y'all? Can we see it?
It's the same.
I have Keith's face. Keith has Davey's face. Davey has Sam's face, and Sam has all of our faces.
Don't let about it.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's nice.
We all do. We all got hooker pistols.
I can't show mine. I'm not flexible.
Very good, guys. Everyone's got their boot guns.
You can't. Sam can't see mine.
Sam's
Boot
not.
guns.
He's not
Boot guns.
But
We haven't jumped him in.
yeah. So yeah, we've got a bunch of merch coming out next week with the album. We're gonna do CDs. A lot of people asked about vinyl.
People asked about hats because we had these corduroy hats that like
Those are sick.
yeah, they sold good. Actually, I heard they get you a job apparently.
Yeah, Laura, did you know this? So one of your employees, Dangerous Kyle.
Dangerous Kyle, shout
Shout
out!
out, Dangerous Kyle!
I need to go get another drink because this is kind of going faster than I thought. So you talk amongst yourselves and then go to the fridge.
Which one's Kyle? Which Kyle?
Dangerous Kyle.
The dangerous.
The dangerous one.
Oh, they all have a little bit of danger in them.
I forgot his last
Lab Kyle.
name.
Not warehouse Kyle.
Let's find him on Facebook. real quick.
Settler Kyle.
Bruce Beer, new image.
He brews beer.
Yes, yes.
Dangerous Kyle.
Dangerous Kyle. You should ask him how he got that name. But
What do you
apparently,
do?
he wore a boot gun hat on the interview, and he got a job. I'm not going to say it was our fault. He's qualified.
Our fault,
Oh,
baby.
he's really qualified, and he is a solid human. We
But
love him.
hat helped, for sure.
Always.
Always.
You gotta have some kind of personal connection.
That's right.
So actually, real story about that. I was leaving a meeting at Upslope, and someone needed to use the conference room, and it was one of the Upslopers and this random dude wearing a cool hat who was here for an interview. And I was like, oh, excuse me, I'm heading out. You guys can have this space to do the interview. And I stopped and I was like, you do a boot gun? I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. So I think maybe I got him the job because I kind of
Shout out Kennedy! Dangerous Kyle. I don't know his last name. It's Rindolph. Sorry, Kyle. I didn't know that.
This game, I'm telling you, you're throwing these t-shirts back like I'm a written
Like
t-shirt.
nobody.
I got a curveball for you.
Okay.
So what this is all about as we chug.
Yeah.
So Upslope's doing a little thing called Chug for Charity. If you want to learn a bit more about it, check out our blog post. We do have information about it there. Kind of if you see a chug, send a chug, tag some friends to do it. We are working towards raising some money for the Colorado COVID-19 Relief Fund. So check that out. The state is going to be better than ever when we recover from all this stuff. So because I'm talking about that, I think we should drink again. And let's have
Yeah, drink to that. Don't drink to COVID. Drink to charity.
Drink to charity.
Shout out to charity.
Shout out to charity. Whatever charity you want, donate to it right now. No dollar is ever too little.
It's true.
We got to
Charity
get a little help from our friends.
He's not working.
Long Hope's Donkey Shelter. Just throwing it out there. I don't know if you guys know Long Hope's Donkey Shelter, but that is my charity of choice. Shout out to Long Hope's Donkey
Long
Shelter.
Hope.
Long Hope Donkey Shelter.
Up with long hopes. I'm with dopes.
All right, well, let's go to some comments, see if we got anything cool. Okay, so this is really cute, Keith. We're going to put this up right now. Hi, Uncle Keith. Love David, Abby, and Olivia.
fan of the
Ready to
house.
rock. Thank you, Upslope.
Aww.
You know, this is a children's show. Fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
This is not your uncle. This is no relation to you. So don't. That's not your bloodline. I am. Right. You know,
He's a
I love
good
you.
boy.
Miss you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to smother you guys in a
Keith
pool.
is a family man. He might not look it with that mustache, but Keith is a family man, guys.
He loves children. You can tell.
You can tell he picks them up in the van with the candy.
Oh my God. So I found a picture of you guys online, and I want you to explain it because for the longest time I knew Boot Gun as 3 dudes, and then there's this mysterious 4th dude who's joined the scene. And I'm calling BS. I think you guys have existed for many years longer than you're letting on because I found this picture of you guys.
All right, let us talk about this.
You got some explaining to do, sir.
Keith is the 3rd one in from the left.
Bangs.
Is that Wasp?
What band
Keith,
is that?
I just want to know why you guys lying about how long you guys have been a band because you guys are champions. Look at this.
Here I am.
Hide that part of your legacy.
Right?
I'm asking.
Embrace it.
She says it's us. I believe it.
Who wants to know?
You know what actual band it is?
No, I was mailed that picture in a sealed envelope with no return address.
Have you clicked on the link? Have you guys clicked on the COVID link where it sends it to that big old black dick?
Okay, you got it.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's a kids show.
No relation out there. But yes, to answer your question, that guy has taken over many of our digital lives. I've seen that guy more times than I care to talk about. But yeah, you can see this picture is a photo of a picture. I took this. It's wrinkled up and everything. So I was sent this. It was some form of blackmail of Keith because Keith is the 3rd one in from the left.
I didn't think any other. Yeah. I mean, that's Cody.
Anyway, you guys have come a long way. I feel pretty impressed with your latest appearance.
Well, so yeah, you met us as a 3-piece band. We started in 2018. We joined forces. We booked a show before we even were a band, which is radical.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
And so every time we went to the studio, because we were a 3-piece band, Sam is a good friend of mine. I've known him for over a decade, and we would just convince him. Shout out Sam! And so we would call him into a little couple of diddles, just a little bit of lead guitar on top of the 3-piece band. So true, the whole record, he's been a part of the band since the beginning. We just had to convince him to move out, and what happened was we had an empty room, so we just begged him, and then he moved out with me. So it was great. Came out, moves in the house, we all lived together. So
kicked me off the couch.
That's right.
Very nice.
So we've been truly. It's funny. He's been in the band since the beginning, yet he just showed up 2 years late.
I like it. Well, welcome to the party, man. It's good to see you. We are very excited to have you all in attendance. I don't know if I've met you in person, but I hope that I will soon. But yeah.
No, we don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah. Shout out sadness.
Shout out
sadness.
Shout out person to person.
DM me.
Right. I really like this question. So this comes from Ryan Cobb.
Shout out Ryan Cobb. Ryan Cobb. Drinking boy.
How you doing?
You called it.
All right. So you're stuck on a deserted desert island. Isn't that the same thing? I don't even know. There's one song playing on repeat. What song is that? All of the Boot Gun guys have to say. If you had to have one song.
Virginia by Boot Gun.
Shout out Boot Gun.
Shout out Boot Gun.
Lame shout out Boot Gun.
Let's hear it.
I would say the James Bond theme.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's pretty good.
But only like the 15 seconds that plays during the DVD menu on repeat.
On the main menu.
And then it stops for like 2 seconds and it comes back in just as
For all
loud.
you kids out there, once upon a time there's a thing called a DVD and you had to listen to this music on repeat until you
Especially when you fell asleep on the couch, you woke up to it.
Dude, I remember I woke up
Like bounces.
it was fucking whatever song that was on
What
there.
is it?
That's on the
Yeah, chuck on that one. If you forget something, you remember.
If you forget something, shout out.
Mine would be, this is the hippie psychedelia in me. I want like a 1978 45-minute Dark Star is what I will take on. Because there's just I'm deserted. I'm stranded. I don't know. So I want some weird shit behind me. That's it. I got it. Yeah.
I like that. Anyone else?
Yeah.
All right, so it's just one song.
One song.
Yeah.
Whole life.
I got
No, one.
One?
You have one.
All right, I want to do Alice's Restaurant.
Ooh,
It's
good.
26 minutes.
Okay.
And all the time, and I'd have to hear it less repetitions overall before I die on the island.
Woody Guthrie.
Woody, yeah.
That was. Yeah.
Throw those on the playlist.
I might be backwards on that. We cheers a lot.
Cheers to the Guthrie.
Shout out the
Shout out
Guthries. The Guthries.
Cheers to the Box.
What about Guthrie's Restaurant?
The problem with that for me, Sam, is because that's like playing around Thanksgiving for the band. And I would get hungry and I would be stressing. I don't know.
Yeah, crabs.
Well, he was
Crabs.
Shout out to Crabs.
No, shut up.
I think that those are some good answers. I don't know what I would pick. I would rather it be like what album, because that's a little bit more realistic. Like one song is kind of intense. I don't have a clue what mine would be, to be honest, but I have a feeling like something by Huey Lewis would get me pumped up every single day.
Yeah.
Just
lasted a day and a half before I drowned myself. Well, you can't swim.
Yeah. I mean,
All right, Laura, what about you? What song?
Okay, so this is a really hard question because I love so many songs, but I had like an experience when I moved out to Colorado. I lived in a pool house that was like a studio apartment with this like big potbelly wood stove, and my buddies lived in the main house, I called it, and they had this like hippie crash pad, which was a futon on the ground in the living room, and they're both sound dudes. So they had everything dialed in.
Farmers. Sorry.
Jeremy Farmer.
Yeah. Gage, Kurt, love you. So I was sitting in the house and they were playing Low Sparks of High Heel Boys by Traffic.
Cool.
And I laid there and was just like, what in the world? This song is amazing. And I listened to it on repeat. And I think that I could listen to that for a really long time.
Awesome.
I don't know, but it was an experience that I will never forget, and I love that song.
I love it. That's great.
Another
Traffic.
question.
Not like the
Because there's not any anymore.
Yeah, there's no traffic
There's no traffic anymore.
Can
There's
we
no
give it up
traffic.
for the one
There's no traffic anymore.
No
That's a good
traffic.
point.
No traffic.
Also, shout out Bad Company.
We have a song about them.
Yeah,
Not
we do.
really, but
I say Bad Company, though.
sure.
So
Okay, so another question by the same guy who just asked that about the song.
shout out, is that Ryan?
Question.
Shout out Ryan again.
Ryan again. I'll put his name up again.
Two questions, buddy.
Ryan, you are doing me dirty
Are
right
we
now.
back on the
No,
dessert?
he didn't ask this. I just know this about him, that he always likes to ask if you could have one beer, one alcoholic product, I'm not limiting it to beer, one alcoholic drink on your dessert island, what would that be?
Peach lemonade fucking
Kids show.
this.
Sponsored by Cody Hart.
This. Sponsored by Cody Hart. Cody Hart is
Well,
sponsored
that's
by
actually a really smart answer, Cody, because these have electrolytes.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
think
so a lot
that
of
would
people
be
want
well on a desert island. That's what I think.
Definitely, it's something with electrolytes.
I was hungover today and I had an electrolyte. I needed two of them.
I think that was a booze.
yeah. Let's see.
All right, so hold on. We're getting close to where I think we should probably have you guys do a performance if you're down.
We'll play a couple songs.
Think about that. We would love to do that, but I mean, right before we do that, I think we all need to get into character and get right. So y'all might know what that means. Wig time.
That was
Simon
quick.
was wiggy with it for the last few minutes.
Cruella DeVille, what's up?
Well, the bill, or is it just a skunk? Are you just
I
wearing a
don't know, but
skunk?
sometimes when my husband wears this, I think he looks for some reason like ODB, and I think that's really comical.
You think your husband looks like ODB? I'm
No,
gonna go
really,
ahead.
you know my husband. If he's watching, I just think this wig kind of reminds me of ODB for some reason.
You watch Schitt's Creek? You look like
You do.
from Beetlejuice. What's her name?
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that woman. I love Schitt's Creek. That's so funny. And please don't put the David comments. It's not funny. It's not. No one cares. David. Okay, we're done with it. Shout out to David. What's his name? His name's Dan, actually, right? Dan and Eugene. Shout out Dan and Eugene Levy.
Davey, before you perform, I got another question that I do think is kind of cool because I love hearing about what you guys like as a band and what it's like to be a musician since I'm not one. So this is a question that I think is pretty cool. What's been your all-time favorite venue to play, other than the Get Down, of course?
Of course.
Good job, Molly.
God, there's some good.
We played this super kick-ass little like divey nonsense kind of place in Mexico.
Oh yeah, that would be the best.
We were in Mexico for Keith's bachelor party,
And that's all we'll have to say about that.
And
Shout out to Ariel for getting us that gig.
It's true. He also was the guy that got in the cabin.
All right. Well, without further ado, if you guys are ready, I'm going to switch over this camera so we can get you plugged into the one.
Time out. 1 second. We just have to make sure. Are we still sponsored by Upslope and we're going to be in a commercial with them?
100%. Later, that's coming out. We've held that close to the vest, Davey, but Meet Virginia is the track, the musical track to a Spiked Snowmelt video. So you guys will be seeing that.
And we'll play Virginia for you.
Hey,
We'll do
I
that.
love that. Are we ready to switch cameras?
Yes.
And by the way, I'm going to leave this wig on because I've never looked better.
You have not looked better. I agree.
All right. I'm switching over. Let's hope this
Okay,
works.
switch the camis.
Now.
Hey. Okay. Sounds good, right? Check.
Check.
Cool. All right. Well, so this is our hit single. It's called Virginia. It's off of our new record coming out next Friday, May 15th. We're going to stream it live. It's brought to you by UMS. So if you enjoyed our banter, please check out our Facebook and find us and enjoy next Friday us playing the show. So here it is. This is Virginia.
Woo!
Come back, Virginia. I'll show you something that you never seen. Come back, Virginia. Acting like it's not what you need. Go down, my lady. Woo. You're helping a man rip through his jeans. Go with jeans, baby. Come on. She always calls me open and right. Whisper sweet nothing, drop a line insane. Insane. Come back, Virginia. She keeps on running in and out of my dreams. Come back, Virginia. She'll have the custard, all that peaches and cream. Go down, my lady. Woo. You're helping a man bust through his jeans. So it's sexy, sir. We'll see. She always calls me in the open and right. Whisper sweet nothing, drop a line insane. Insane, tell me boy. Come back, Virginia. No need to hide those tricks up your sleeve. Go down, my lady. Baby, promise that you'll ever leave. You never leave. She always calls me in the pouring rain. Whisper sweet nothing, drive a man insane. Come on, Virginia, don't make me wait. Like the slightest touch from you, bring the angels from heaven this way. In the pouring rain, some pouring, so 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 in the pouring rain, baby, some pouring, so in the pouring rain, baby, some pouring, so in the pouring rain, baby, some pouring, so in the pouring rain, some pouring. Keeps on the pouring rain, keeps on pouring, keeps on the pouring rain, keeps on pouring rain. Hey, well,
We've never played that like that before.
that is the first.
That was
time.
awesome.
That was righteous.
Cheers. All right, so we're gonna do one more song because we can't hear y'all talk to us. Okay,
Cool.
so we're gonna do the last song off the record. It's called "Still Life."
Shout out to Upslope for having us.
Shout out to Upslope to
Shout
having
out
us.
to Tom Robbins for the inspiration.
That's right. Shout out to Tom Robbins.
Catch us next Friday on our live stream as we release our album. Build up to it. Buy a t-shirt. Buy a tattoo. Put it on your baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna pop back over and we'll talk a little bit. And we're gone.
Perfect.
Ready?
Great party.
Love it.
1, 2, 3.
All right, boys. Here we go. She's a princess from the heartland. She was pregnant by age 19. And she always is carrying something. 'Cause her parents were exiled kings and queens. It's still life in the heartland. It's still life of your dreams. Now don't run away from nothing. Just don't forget me. All right. Now, but now they call him a cowboy. That's Woodpecker, the outlaw to me. And he's carrying the something. 'Cause the friends he keeps are all bad company. Shout out to Bad Company.
Yeah, bad company, baby.
In the heartland, it's still life of your dreams. Now don't run away from nothing. Just don't forget me. Oh yeah. Come on.
Hey, come on.
This is Bullfrog.
Shout out to Bullfrog.
They say love, it lasts forever. Then you're locked up for years on end. And she goes lighters out. You just put it in the air.
Shout out to lighters.
Shout out to lighters, Bit, Zippo. They say love, it lasts forever. In a still life of your dream. Now don't run away from nothing. Just don't forget me. It's still life in the heartland. It's still life of your dreams. Now don't run away from nothing. Just don't forget me. Just don't forget me. You may be wrong, or you may be right.
Hey, shout out to Billy Joel.
Wrong, or you may be right. You may be wrong, or you may be right. You may be wrong, or you may be right. Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
So sassy.
Switch
I
us
love
up.
it.
switch us to this one so we can
I had my grill lighter out. Woo!
switch us over if you can.
Yeah, there it is.
Y'all are so sassy and amazing. I love it.
I had my grill lighter out during that one part.
Thank you.
Breakdown.
Thank you guys.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Boot Gun. I'm going to put up your awesome picture and your names real quick again so people know who the hell you are.
Thank you.
Guys,
Wow, we are more attractive in that photo.
Oh man, you got to put the instrument we play. You're supposed to put what kind of boots we wear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Shout
Maybe y'all wear.
next time.
Shout out
Tony
sponsors.
Lama.
Tony Lama, Floor Shine.
Justin.
Justin.
Abilene Boot
You
Company.
make boots. We'll wear your boots.
We will wear your boots to work.
Try holler at these boys.
So yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to this, guys. I'm going to flash up the album again. Remember to check them out on the UMS. What's it called? UMS.
UMS it's the same thing that we
Just
did.
go to our Facebook, go to
Yeah.
Blue Gun, you'll find it there.
You'll see it all.
You can buy all our merch. You can buy all the fun things. Laura, Katie, we love
We
you.
love you, Upslope. Thank you
Love
so much.
them. Shout out to one.
Here's to you guys. We hope everyone tunes in on over the weekend on Spotify and checks out our playlist and hears some more music from Boot Gun and gets their album on May 15th. Thanks so much, guys. We really love you.
Yeah,
Rock on.
are we doing one more song? We can.
You can if you want, but we were fixing to sign off. So if you guys want to do it,
We're done. Okay, I
They don't understand.
Top tees.
They've drank
Top
2
tees.
cases now. They don't understand English. We're good.
See you next Friday.
See you guys next Friday.
love you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Bye, guys.
Bye.